pit. It's been a little bit of a break for me, so I am looking forward to getting back in the action here. I think the last time we had a stream on here was like January 31st. So I'm very
Yes.
happy that I'm not the one doing the camera here because that would be abysmal. We'll see if we're able to live up to
It's
the.
probably going to be just as bad with me doing it, though, to be honest.
Honestly, who knows? Who knows? I mean, you've had a little bit more experience with it in the past. I think it's been at least a year plus since the last time I've actually done
Yeah,
work.
because it was back when we had, some of those kind of internet issues and everything going on, and I just took over the torch for ESs. I mean, you were doing so much to begin with anyways, so I felt it definitely kind of eases things when I can at least take care of the stream for you. And give everybody just some really terrible WUB music for intros,
Well, I do have a little bit of an update on the bracket here. Cat 5 actually lost to a team called Humble Brag. And I think I knew a couple of those guys on those teams, that team. But we'll see. They are going to be in the other semifinal going on right now against Relapse Spirit. We'll see who's going to be moving into the finals, who will be taking on the winner of this best of 3 here. So we are going to be going to Control Center to get things underway. Is Pepsi okay over on the blue? Mythic Gaming on the red. Let's see what they have in store for us here. As both teams, of course, going to be going out with that Junkrat. We'll see who's going to be winning the battle of the Riptires right here. Brent looking for a little bit of a side flank. Troll actually going in for the first charge here, but felt up, dropping first, way into backline territory. Haplo kind of getting caught out of position. Didn't have the backup here. Trades going both sides, but it's looking like Mythic Gaming coming out on top to get things started.
They have a lot of pressure. Brent actually just kind of snuck his way around onto the point, got a nice little bit of flank action going on, put out a little bit of pressure, and in the meantime, Blink, yeah, I mean, he was really just laying it in on the Junkrat. A lot of aggression coming out, I guess, initially from Troll, really, where he just kind of dove right in, didn't really find much, but nonetheless, we see the tire coming out. That's going to be from Blink. Can he find anything?
Very early Riptire indeed. A lot of damage coming out from him to get things started. Does not find anything. Gets them a little bit more time added, or excuse me, percentage added to that board there. We'll see what they're going to make of it as Coalescence ready to go here from Muffin's Rage. And that Earth Shatter, they're going to open up with this one. Haplo trying to get behind the Reinhardt shield if possible. Troll actually finding a nice charge into the wall. King not quite taken down. The Graviton Surge comes out from the back line. Yo Mama, he is going to be able to connect onto a few. They follow through here because they've got the numbers advantage. D.Va taken out of the mech, and they will remain strong.
Excellent Graviton to just secure that fight for them. They were really kind of backed up in that one. We saw Muffin's Rage start that fight off with a Coalescence, and just off of the back of that Graviton, they were able to completely turn it around. Another thing to note, though, Dorm, is that they're running a quad tank setup now. So with Brent and Blink on McCree and Junkrat, respectively, this is going to be a lot of ultimates, a lot of damage coming out from them. You can already see, Riptires to start out this next fight as well. So slowing down the pace of their engagements, before they can even get in, they're already slowed down.
See what they can make of this Earth Shatter. He's going to lay a couple flat there. They're going to follow through here with the Deadeye if it's even needed from Brent. Doesn't seem to be the case. They dropped the sound barrier from the Lucio there just to be able to add a little bit of more pressure there onto his Pepsi OK, who are just laying flat on the ground. They are destroying them right now. Here, only about 10-ish seconds left. Can they even make it back to the point?
I don't know. It's going to be very tough. Link's going to come back on the Doomfist. We see him just rushing back over as he was on Junkrat. So they're going to be missing a little bit of that pressure. But, Doomfist should be able to knock them around a bit. Might give them a little bit of control. And there's the charge coming out from Troll as we saw Haplo stunned out. They're coming back in. The Self-Destruct dropped on top of the Graviton. Will claim a kill. But is it going to be enough? Coalescence coming out for a second time from Muffin's Rage.
Oh man, here that didn't look good to get things started from its Pepsi OK. A sound barrier questionable at that. Feltup had to keep Haplo alive, but they will follow through with several more ultimates. A nice connect from King onto a few, able to clean him up with that Graviton Surge, and they will be able to try. They'll have an attempt at least to be able to battle their way back into this one. 99% is still a ways to go. We'll see what his Mythic Gaming can make of it here, because they're only really coming up on that Earth Shatter and the Deadeye. Sound Barrier well on its way as well. What are they going to make of it? But there's the Earth Shatter coming out from Troll. Lays a few down, but not a lot of follow-up damage is there. They are dangerously low right now, and it's looking like it's Pepsi OK holding on for the time being.
They really have to make sure that they're dealing with Brent, but there it is again. Muffin's Rage with the Coalescence. They're keeping them stuffed into that room, And that's all they want from this. They want to buy time because they're up now to about 40%, and they have to be perfect with these fights.
Gonna wait for the regroup here as Blink is coming up on a Riptire. Maybe he's gonna come around the backside, see if he can find a little damage, but Jose on the Diva is gonna catch him off guard, is gonna see he's there. They're gonna look to move in regardless. Sound barrier now coming down from Mythic Gaming, looking for an opportunity to move through. They do have the Coalescence. Riptire was taken down, or actually gets the D-Mech there, I believe, and they're down 2 guys right now. This could be it. Graviton Surge comes there, through there from Yo Mama. They should be able to fall through. Deadeye connects, and Curix, that will be all she wrote here for Control Center. And round number 1, going over to Mythic.
Oh, they're starting to see if they can get Lucio there. They do stall it out for the time being. Lucio will fall. Overtime still ticking, and I don't think we'll see the Reinhardt make it in time, and that now will be it.
It was over. It was over.
It was over. It was over.
Regardless, Mythic Gaming stepping up to the plate here in the first round. Again, I really haven't seen these guys in action. I know the Lucio, that's about all I've seen from this team in the past, but he wasn't even with these guys previously. So with that in mind, kind of went into this a little, blind in terms of what to expect, but they are definitely impressing here. And is Pepsi okay, forced to change up their composition a little bit. Sinker potentially moving over to that Tracer, King on the Genji. We'll see how they stack up against Brent.
Brent looked phenomenal, I would say, so far when he was on the McCree. And it looks like they're coming out with a Bastion. And this isn't, I guess, maybe new on this map, perhaps. But, we've seen some of this on, like, Nepal Village, even in the Overwatch League. But here on this map, we'll have to see how they want to cover this. But they are providing a lot of support for it. They do have a lot of heals with Moira there as well, of course. And it's all about just bringing that defense matrix down, putting the pressure on, and then slowly advancing while you can take your picks.
We'll see if they can get, like you said, slowly advancing. If they can get into a good position, if Brent doesn't get dropped upon. There's the Winston coming down. He is just going to get melted, but they do find the kill onto him regardless to come back to the side of Mythic. They've got that numbers advantage as Tracer tries to flank in the back, but good peeling coming out from the Moira, able to keep Lucio alive for the side of Mythic here. They're going to be able to clean this one up and secure the first objective.
Another thing about this is that when you play a tank composition, right, and you're looking to try to make sure people come to you, that's the best way to do it. I mean, forcing a team to try to deal with a Bastion, the only thing that they can do is come at you. But when you're playing a tank composition, it's perfect because the Bastion has the ability to stay alive in that kind of situation, better than, say, a McCree. And the tanks can then just deal with the dive much more easily because you're forcing them into you.
Sinker looking for someone with the Pulse Bomb. Coalescence going to get things started here for the side of Mythic. Earthshatter able to lay 2 on the ground. The Graviton Surge is there, but Hurix, it's the Transcendence. It's not quite able to keep King and Feltup alive. They're both going to fall here. Don't even really need to drop that sound barrier. They should be safe. They should be secure unless Genji's able to make it back into the fight, but I doubt that's really what they're going to want to do. And Hurix, they're going to continue to try to press in this fight. Sound barrier coming down, only hitting a couple of them. It's going to force out the sound barrier from Mythic. Hurix, Dragon Blade, able to find one, looking for more. It's not going to happen, Hurix, and they're going to remain strong.
Mythic Gaming looking so dominant so far in this matchup. Brent came back on the Tracer. He's got the Pulse Bomb ready now. So does Sinker, but Brent will have the element of surprise as he's just sitting here alongside Blink. And, I mean, they have controlled so well. Finding kills inside of a Transcendence, that's insane. Sinker trying to pull them back to the point so that they can't just, throw everything that they have right at that entrance. And that's going to be the Pulse Bomb. Still ready for Brent. He throws it out, but I think it got eaten up, and he's killed off as well.
Be a big pickup for these guys as they look to move in. They're going to go for a flank here. Sinker is on the point, contesting this one. They're regardless going to go out here. A self-destruct thrown way out there, able to find one as the Graviton Surge keeps them kind of clumped together. Maybe not exactly how many Yo Mama wanted to get with the self-destruct Hurix, but it helps out. Somehow they pull back thanks to that Graviton Surge as the Tracer. Sinker tried to pull him back, Hurix, but it just didn't work. Now we're in overtime. They have a couple of people in the area, but I just don't see it happening. Doomfist now in the mix as Blink makes the change. 5 people are here for the side of Is Pepsi okay? Hurix, I don't know. Do they have the resources to pull this off?
I don't think so. I mean, they had an opportunity because the Doomfist just flew off the point, but Mythic Gaming was just way too set up on this objective, I would say, at this stage to have them lose control now. That will be Haplo following. They're still going to be throwing people in there. We see the blade coming out from King. He deflected up. A sound barrier coming out. That will be that. Mythic Gaming taking a quick 2-0 on Lijiang Tower.
Quick indeed. Man, they came out on fire on Control Center. They showed his Pepsi OK how to play this map here. And they're going to go up 1-0 in this best of 3 semifinal set. A bit unexpected, as I had said earlier, at least for me personally, not having really seen these guys before. But I know, I've watched the brackets. I've created them over the last few weeks. And I feel like these guys have popped up quite a bit. So excited to see if they're going to be able to take this set. We are going to be moving to Kings Row for game number 2 here. It's a little bit of a change of pace, but of course, Overwatch is most popular, sought after map. So I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys have in store for us, as Mythic Gaming will be on offense to get things underway. What are you thinking? Is Pepsi okay? Is it the composition? They just getting outclassed everywhere? What are you thinking about these guys making a push for a game number 3?
I think certainly you could say that on the second map, or the second round on Night Market, they absolutely got outclassed, outmatched, and certainly on the composition level as well. New skin unlocked, I got. So
nice.
Congratulations
Good job,
to me.
Man.
I did it.
A lot of effort there.
I've done it. But anyways, I mean, Mythic Gaming, I think it was brilliant to bring out that composition involving the Bastion, because it forced the dive that I'm assuming they expected to come out, to just jump in on the Bastion. They had everything set up and ready to go to keep the Bastion alive long enough to allow their tanks to just throw everybody around, find the kills onto Genji, Tracer. I mean, nobody could really do anything about it. They really just put it in on Winston as well. The hammer can just cleave down D.Va pretty quick as well. So, I mean, it was a really smart composition to start things off, then switch over to the Tracer as soon as you have the control, because that's exactly what will get the job done in terms of dealing with the backline at that stage. I mean, nobody is then safe. So we also saw a lot of control. Troll and Blink did a fantastic job together. So I think overall on Lijiang Tower, I think if we did 10 more Lijiang Towers, Mythic Gaming would come out on top in at least 9 of them. Now the question is, can they continue that performance on Kings Row? I mean, it's a kind of similar style to what we saw them already playing on Night Market. Having the Reinhardt involved, it's exactly the same thing we saw in Control Center as well, where they did come out ahead in that department. So I would say that this is a decent map pull for them, considering what we saw in Lijiang Tower already.
Well, I'm excited to see what they're able to pull out here, because they're going to be on offense to get things started here. So can they push it the distance, or is Pepsi okay pull this one back and see if they can push for a game number 3 on Nepal, which again is a little bit worrying. It's a little bit of a different change, a different style from Lijiang Tower, but here I mean, it's still a control point, and we saw how handily Mythic Gaming was able to take that Lijiang Tower map. So we'll see if Mythic Gaming is able to take it right now. It looks like on the defense, Sinker on the Junkrat.
Yep.
Let's see what he's able to make of it.
So triple tank, no hog from Den, just wanting to have this control type composition, not really playing for picks necessarily, just going to be going ahead and controlling and allowing Sinker to try to find some spam kills with the Junkrat, displacing this attack. Blink, though, on the Hanzo, of course, coordinating with Zarya. Yo Mama going to be playing alongside Blink, and we'll have to see if they can find some picks for themselves.
Well, they're not going to have any trouble moving in whatsoever. A nice hook from Brett, trying to get Haplo out of the area, but Sinker gets so much damage out so early. He's able to find a nice early kill on the Brett. It's a 2-for-1 right now. It's a trade here. It's a 4-on-4 on this point. That spawn advantage clearly over to Mythic Gaming, and King kind of out of position. Can the Hanzo find the kill onto the Zarya? He's trying so desperately. No, he's going to drop. Coalescence comes out from Muffin's Rage. He'll be able to keep that D.Va nice and healthy, but with Brett back in the mix and D.Va out of the mech here, Mythic Gaming, they might have this one, but no, they're going to be forced to regroup. The defense going to hold on strong. Earthshatter comes down. Haplo laid on the ground. He is going to find a kill along with King on a troll, and Yurks, they're still battling their way back on defense.
Well, the defense has control now. They're pushing them out, and Graviton is at the ready. So should anything go awry, they have that option available for themselves as well. But unfortunately for them, Muffin's Rage just dropped to the scatter arrow of Blink. So now they're really going to have to use that Graviton if they want to be able to take this fight. Muffin's Rage going to be taking, I would say, a longer route back. Now they have to engage. So here it is, the Graviton looking to drop right onto the middle of the point. They get him. Sinker with an already big pick for them to take out Limon Wei.
Not quite able to find anything with the self-destruct, but it sets them up quite nicely to pull them out of position here. They managed to get well over 2/3, but that's not going to be enough. Sinker, like you had mentioned, he went all the way around a last-second Riptire kill onto the Lucio. help set them up for success, along with a terrific Graviton Surge from King. We're down to 2 minutes still. A decent amount of time. Blink, Yo Mama coming up on a big wombo combo. Let's see what they can make of it.
Well, Blink is behind them. They're looking to lay them flat. Earthshatter setting things up initially. Sinker is under fire by Blink up top, but not going to be amounting to much as Pepsi OK has already cleaned things up. Wow. I mean, they have really taken it to them. Very early aggression means that there is no time for Yo Mama and Blink to set that up, and I think Blink is still back here. He is indeed. He's still set up back behind the enemy team, and they know he's back here. Lucio is actually looking for him a little bit more. He keeps throwing orbs up there just to try to pressure him, you know, a little bit. We'll have to see if they're able to get something done. The combo is indeed still ready, and here it comes. Oh, it got eaten up!
Gonna go right into the defense matrix. What a play, but Hurix on the back end. Brent was there to follow through with the whole hog. He doesn't really find too much, but they step off the point. That's gonna be point A going over there to Mythic Gaming. A big play coming out from Jose, but unfortunately not enough to save them from relinquishing that first objective point, Hurix. So Diva, Baby Diva, still on the point, holding them off for just a little bit. 3:15 on the board, but what a hold coming out there from the defense.
Yeah, Jose is going to have a pretty long walk. I mean, fortunately for him at least, the team also had a couple of long spawns as they died after the point was actually taken, so he's not going to be losing out on too much. He's already caught up pretty much, so not a big deal as they're going to be speed boosted back into this next fight. They have a couple of options coming up pretty soon. I think most importantly is the control between King and Haplo. They want to make use of this if they can. Need to get that energy up quickly. King looking to try to get it up high, and he will get it up to about 50. They're starting to go forward. They already tried the Earthshatter, but it doesn't work.
Blocked out. Self-destruct not quite going to land either, as they are still yet to pull the trigger here on offense, looking for an opportunity to move in, but the defense going to try to make the most of it. Sound Barrier comes through. It's able to keep them alive for the time being, but Blink, he's going to get dropped in the back, but on the defensive side, they lose their main tank. A Graviton Surge comes through here from the offense. Yo Mama has a bit of follow-up. He is near fully charged. He gets dropped. Sinker is on fire. He gets reeled in. He's going to get dropped, and the defense will remain strong here. It's bolts left and right. That Dragon Strike, the only one remaining here for the offense.
Man, I mean, they are just showing such perfect composure to be able to stay in these fights where it looks like they shouldn't. Yo Mama was just laying into them inside of the Graviton. They definitely got the better end of the deal there, but to be able to stay in that fight, Muffin's Rage now looking to keep things up right now, and we'll see the Coalescence come out once again. Earthshatter for a second time. It's this time Haplo coming out ahead.
Yeah, Dragon Strike from the spawn, so Blink can make the change. Didn't quite get it out there, Hurix. They went into that knowing it was a 5-on-6, and they still decided to drop that Earthshatter. They still decided to put Brent's whole hog out there, and they got absolutely nothing from it other than, I guess, a self-destruct out from Jose and an Earthshatter from Haplo. But Hurix Blink now moves over to the Junkrat. Brent on the McCree. 1:15 to go. Can they make anything of this? They're going to have to take at least 2 team fights to be able to secure the second objective. Troll, though, making a move in. Sound Barrier dropped on the defense.
Sinker really laying into them right now. Graviton again at the ready. Look at the energy for King right now as he's going to be able to easily just deal out this damage. We saw him protecting his Reinhardt so well earlier. A little bit more damage coming out from Haplo with a triple kill off of a single fire strike. That's going to get him up for that Earthshatter very quickly, and that's been something to note. I mean, having these Earthshatters so often because these tanks are so aggressive in these fights, and they are certainly enabled to some degree by having the Lucio Mora set up, and then on top of that, having the Zaryas to back them up, that they can just dive in, and they're really just putting out a lot of damage so that they can get these Earthshatters, and we're seeing these in a lot of the fights.
Oh, Riptire's out here. Can he find anything? Gets Haplo. That's a big pickup. They use the Sound Barrier as well. Maybe a little too early because the Graviton Surge now comes through. Muffin's out with that Coalescence, trying to keep his team healthy inside of that one. They are going to remain okay. The offense are going to be able to find the remaining members of his Pepsi okay. Afraid it's going into overtime. They are going to lose that spawn advantage just slightly as that payload moves closer and closer to the second checkpoint. Still, plenty of time to get a regroup, and look at the ult starting to stack up here for the defense.
Yeah, they have some options, although the Graviton will be coming up shortly. Yo Mama might be able to do something with that. They're just going to ward them off right now with the Deadeye. Here comes the Tire. Sinker looking to try to shut things down, but Brent is the one to do just that. Takes the Tire out.
The big one, Graviton Surge coming out the Earth Shatter Lace, too flat in the back. That's a bit of follow-up damage. Out of the way, Sinker picks up a kill for himself. They are holding on. They've got the sound barrier at their backs. Doesn't look like Zarya is going to be able to save the day along with Moira. Both of them are going to get dropped. Overtime, ticks down. And is Pepsi okay? They have their mark. They've got it set here. They want to move to Nepal for a game 3, but they've got some work to do here on offense.
Their defense was just so good, though. I mean, Sinker really stepping things up, I'd say, especially on Junkrat, obviously. I mean, you know, really pushing out a lot of that damage so that he can get those rip tires. You know, we saw very early on, it was something like 30 seconds or something that we saw the rip tire come out and be available. That's just the kind of thing that we can expect to see when you play these tank compositions. You know, I remember even back in Pit where we saw, I want to say it was Voil actually, who's in chat right now. I could be mistaken, but I want to say it was Voil. I could be horribly mistaken, and I might be gassing him for no reason. That got a barrage in something like 20 seconds on Eichenwald defense point A. I mean, it's the ult stacking that you can see in this type of composition when you see these two teams like really kind of vying to generate a lot of kill pressure very early on in some of these tank fights. It really stacks up quickly. You can get a lot of lethality early on from your DPS players if they're playing things like Junkrat, playing things like Pharah, and just pushing out that AoE pressure to these tanks who are all stacked up, obviously. But now it looks like on the attack, I'm not sure if they're going to want to go for a tank strat themselves. I imagine Reinhardt, Zarya, that's typically going to be the case, but it's going to be tough to call because, you know, it is something that we could see, you know, even a dive potentially involving the Widowmaker as well, just creating space for that. Could even be a Ryan Zarya providing with a, you know, Widowmaker. Could be even quad tank, could even be something where they bring the Hanzo out, just like we saw with Blink. So there's a lot of options here, and it looks like it's going to be dive with the Widowmaker.
Let's see what they can make of it. Yo Mama taking a bit of heat there from King to get things started. Not a bad start whatsoever. They do have that Mercy, though, on the offensive side. Very interesting. We'll see what they're going to make of this one. Blink's going to have to come out on fire. A lot of what we saw from the defense in terms of how they made that hold happen here, because I feel a lot of that went into that Junkrat, the defensive Junkrat coming out from them. So they're going to kind of do a little bit of a wraparound onto the point. See if they can get some initiation here from Trolls. They move in. They do find an early pick, force out that Resurrect from Felta, but he's going to drop right away. Not a bad start for Mythic. They should be able to move off of this.
Oh, that's a good pick, though, for King, as they took out the Junkrat. So a big opening for their dive to come back in. If they can keep Haplo safe, if they can get him healthy once more, and with the Mercy, they will be able to heal him up quickly. So now it's just about timing, although Blink will come back on the Tracer. I think that's a good swap for them because they want him quickly into this next fight. They don't want to have the Junkrat coming in too late.
Need to get their hands up on King in the back. We'll see if Yo Mama or Blink are able to do that. It's going to pop that Infra Sight, and that's going to be the D.Va up top trying to find something. Sinker drops early on in this fight. That's going to give that point control over to the defense as they find the D-Mech, and they should be able to easily mop up the rest of the kills, but not before King finds a parting kill. Still not being dealt with up top. D.Va's done a pretty decent job here, but still picking these guys apart, and they might be able to move in off this. Pulse Bomb connects, finds a chunk of damage onto the D.Va here. They've got the numbers. They should be able to secure the first checkpoint off of this.
Yeah, no way they let this go. Muffin's Rage dishing out the damage. You saw the last two kills going his way, the D.Va suit, and also just the D.Va in general. 2 minutes about is what they capture it with. Now it's just about, you know, trying to get Arch control. They don't have a Junkrat. You know, going against the dive, they swapped the Junkrat out. They instead have the Tracer in play, and they're still running, you know, without a Zarya to play alongside their Reinhardt. So he's not going to be able to get, like, real active and really aggressive because he doesn't have that extra bit of protection. And he's not going up against, obviously, you know, the typical setup. But there's the Earth Shatter. There's no shield to block from it now, so he goes forward and finds the first kill.
They lay three actually flat there. Muffins is going to be able to go ahead and pop that Transcendence as the self-destruct comes through. Not going to find anything with it. They're still holding on to that sound barrier on the defensive side of things. They should be able to here, but last time I said something like that on that point A, they just hold back with this spawnage advantage and found an early capture. They're going to drop it. Look to get a little aggressive. Troll not quite able to find what he's looking for. Blink is doing such a good job here being a pest on the Tracer here, but not quite able to come up with any kills. They are going to get a good regroup on the offensive side. Maybe look to move in. They only have a Primal Rage to really work with.
Oh, here comes the Deadeye. They're not going to be able to go in and really put the pressure on the Troll. Haplo will fall to the Deadeye as he wasn't able to get out in time, and the Coalescence will keep things steady for the defense.
They're going to clean this one up here. Diva pinned in the corner. He's going to drop a Dragon Blade. He's going for it. King finds one. Looking for a second here. Does he get anything? No, not quite going to be able to find that Diva. He's going to be forced to retreat. Of course, they know they have that spawn advantage. Doesn't look like the Pulse Bomb's quite able to land there from Sinker. Does scare him back here, but is Pepsi okay? They're still funneling into this. They lose their main tank. Haplo is got out of position. Can Yo Mama grab anything? Not going to be the case, as they will still hold on. Just about 250 to go. And this is starting to look more and more like Mythic Gaming could make a hold.
I mean, they're just looking so composed. You're going to need to see a swap from his Pepsi OK, or they're not going to be able to make it through. And I think this is exactly what they want right here. Bringing out a triple tank, enabling Haplo so that he can actually do something. Because when he goes in on the Winston right now, he's just dealt with so easily. But there's the Earthshatter, completely denied by Haplo.
Struck didn't quite find anything either, as Reinhardt's just going to lay each other flat. Coalescence comes out. Going to keep them healthy on the end, on that end of things. Blink is actually going to go out of this fight, but with Haplo down here, they don't really have anything to work with now. Sound Barrier comes out from the from the offense. This could be what they needed to move forward. Troll out of the picture as well. They don't really have much to respond with. We see Blink make a move over to that Junkrat here, and it's going to be one more team fight here for his Pepsi OK to secure this map.
I'll have to see if they can get it done. King did do a lot in that last fight, so they will have Graviton very soon. 80% towards that ult. Also has a lot of charge. Blink falls very early. They're going to probably have to have him swap, which is not good because they need him in this next fight quickly, and they would rather have him on Junkrat. So they're going to speed boost him back into this fight, which means even more time before they can actually get into this engagement. They're going to have to play slow and hope that they don't get picked off. Luckily for them, they do have the composure set up, but they're not on the point, and it just goes right through.
Wow, what a finish coming out from his Pepsi OK, or I guess lack thereof, from Mythic Gaming. Not quite able to contest. Earthshatter lands them, or lays them flat rather, in Hurix. We're headed to a game number 3. It's going to be on Nepal. Let's see what this play of the game is from Sinker.
I mean, that was a C9 though. I mean, we see a lot of not C9s in Overwatch right now. A lot of people just think that, you know, if the point goes through, it's immediately a C9, but that right there is actually what it looks like. I mean, having the people there, that pick though onto Blink was so important because they were just so timid about approaching that engagement that they were warded off completely when they wanted to actually engage. And they still didn't even have the backup of the Lucio to speed boost them in, get them into position safely, and have the backup of that extra damage and that displacement of the Junkrat. So is Pepsi OK really kind of sneaking that one through, although still did have some time to work with and also had the Graviton coming up. I think it was just a matter of time before they actually did win that map, but it's an unfortunate, you know, morale shift because Mythic Gaming, I'm sure, is kind of disappointed about the way that ended.
Well, it looks like we are going to just be a moment here. Mythic Gaming need a couple of minutes to recoup as we are about to go into a game number 3. We are in the semifinals, guys. Welcome to the stream. We've got Is Pepsi OK up against Mythic Gaming. Mythic Gaming in that first map here looked terrific, kind of settling down there on King's Row, and you got to wonder, is Pepsi OK? Man, that's such a rough name to actually have to say every time. Are they going to have what it takes to kind of battle their way back on a control point map? Do they have the momentum? Guess we'll see. The winner of this is going to be taking on the winner between Humble Brag and Relapse Spirit, who are currently playing in the upper side of the bracket semifinal. And Humble Brag actually taking out Cat 5 2-1 in the round of 8. So a little bit of a interesting change of events there coming out for the upper side of the bracket. Hurix, what are you thinking for game number 3? You think Mythic Gaming have this one able to pull it back for themselves?
I think this is going to be a lot closer than what we saw in Lijiang Tower. Is Pepsi OK should be pretty solid on certain maps here. I think Village will be kind of interesting. I think we'll see Mythic have a little bit of an edge there, but when it comes to Shrine and Sanctum, that's when things really open up. We might see actually Sinker bringing out the Soldier and one of these two maps, I would imagine, maybe even both. I mean, we've even seen Soldier on Shrine, which is the first map that we're going to be seeing, of course. So this is good news, I would say, for Is Pepsi Okay? If it started off on Village, I wasn't actually sure. Blink going to be going over to his mainstay of Genji. I believe this is actually the character that he plays most often. So I'm really looking at the DPS for Mythic to really step things up. Blink and Brent really did a lot, going back, looking at Lijiang Tower, but we'll have to see because Sinker has stepped things up, I'd say, and Haplo is getting off a lot more ever since they, were able to get into that second map. And I think, again, morale has an effect in this matchup because of the way that we saw King's Row end just moments ago.
Game number 3, who's going to take it home? Who's going to move it into the finals here? And who will be eliminated here? We'll see what it's going to be. Sinker up against Brent on the Tracer. Should be an exciting one as both teams going to be running the Genji Tracer comp. A little bit of a change up on the side of the supports coming out from both sides, but the Moira rather than that Zenyatta here. So going to try to take control of the high ground right away here. Maybe a little bit of a flank potentially coming out from Troll. Try to get into the back onto both supports. Kind of caught out here. No one there to peel. The Lucio thought he might have what it takes, but here it's not going to be the case. Regardless, it's Pepsi Okay. They're going to be able to push forward to the main group of them here, and they're going to find a few kills for themselves and potentially come up with the first objective.
Is Pepsi Okay really liking the dive option? Sinker really put in a lot of pressure to Blink right from the outset, forced a lot of cooldowns out just to help the Genji stay alive. But this isn't over just yet. Mythic Gaming turn it around. I mean, despite the fact that they just didn't seem like they had control in the fight itself, they're able to take the first objective capture, really still holding on to it well as finding some kills for themselves to get back into it.
They certainly do, but a pulse bomb sticks from Sinker, able to get a D-mech, but I'm not really sure if that's what they need to be able to secure this one. It's still so back and forth. Numbers clearly are in favor of Mythic Gaming. A self-destruct to be able to back him off for just a moment. Haplo pulls himself onto the point. Pulse bomb comes out from the other end. That was Brent. Finds a nice chunk of damage there onto the opponents, but they will still confirm. They will still hold on to this one here. It's 30% and counting as Pepsi Okay forced to pull back and get a regroup. Coming up on a Dragon Blade, though. We'll see if they have what it takes to be able to come through with that one into a sound barrier.
I'm curious about this Blade. We saw him go very aggressive with it earlier. As King looking for an opportunity to pull this out, discords are coming out, and now it's going to be the self-destruct initiated from Yo Mama. Not going to find anything initially, and they almost find the kill onto the Diva, but King overextending will be dropped, so no Blade for them.
And they're going to be forced to pull out once again. I think Haplo, his Primal Rage expiring, just not finding the best opportunity to really do that here, especially with losing somebody so early on in that fight. Up to 70% now, and this could potentially be the final fight. Still not having an opportunity to bring it out. Blink gonna look for something as well. Gonna look to get in the back line with his own Dragon Blade. Maybe a little bit of support with that sound barrier at his back, but the pulse bomb Brent sticks it right away. Haplo is the first to fall. They do get a D-mech on the other side of things as the Transcendence comes out a little preemptively as Blink yet to unsheath the blade. Sound barrier comes through from the side of Is Pepsi Okay. Now it's going to come out from Mythic Gaming as well. Here, Dragon Blades are out. Can they find the kills in the back? Blink finds 2 for himself. Should be able to wrap up this map.
Yeah, King tried to pull one out himself, but he's going to get dropped. The deflect, he actually turned his body a little bit too early. Blink was able to find the kill with the deflect up. Overtime ticks down, and Blink just gets the better end of the deal.
What a round coming out here from Mythic Gaming here. So close, I feel, in several of those fights, especially the opening.
Yeah.
But still a 100-0 just slaughter across the board.
So crazy, to be honest. I mean, to have them be up in that first fight, looking back at that, and then all of a sudden we see Control going over to Mythic, and then slowly but surely they just kind of filter their way back onto the objective, and they're able to steal that one away. Sinker had a nice little pulse bomb, but it just wasn't enough, and King wasn't able to get, what we saw from Blink done. I mean, Blink really had a lot of effect in some of those fights, despite the fact that Sinker was all over him right from the outset.
Round 2.
This is it, Hurix. Is Pepsi Okay gonna have to find 2 round victories, otherwise gonna be going home a little bit earlier than they had hoped for tonight. They're not gonna waste any time trying to get aggressive. Haplo going right behind that Aristo barrier. Yo Mama looking for a little bit of a hook, not quite gonna find it, but Oh, the Orisa almost pulls 2 off the map, just not quite the 2 you wanted in the mix there with that halt. Hurix, they're going to press on forward. It's a 1-for-1, but Yo Mama on the Roadhog keeps pulling him out of position. Still looks like his Pepsi OK doing pretty well for themselves.
Martyrdom kill in that last fight. You hate to see it, but Brent sneaking his way back around, putting some pressure onto the backside. Sinker not going to be able to see it coming fast enough as he falls to the Helix rocket right to his ankles.
And they get the D-Mech as well, as they kind of out of that Diva Mech, which is ultimately going to help Brent now out of the picture as well. King continuing to rack up these kills regardless. Oh, Mama gets knocked off the map. Felt up. What a pick. That would have been a 3-on-3, and I think that would have been favoring Mythic Gaming, but now Troll just a little out of position. Gets the nano boost to keep him alive in the mix here. Probably not what they were looking for. A retire from Blink. Can he fight anything? Gets half-low Hurix. And this is probably what they're looking for. Limonway actually gets booped off, but he's going to be able to get himself back up into the onto the point, Hurix. But is Pepsi okay? They can continue to funnel, and they're going to do just fine.
And this is that map that I was talking about. You know, having Shrine, having Sanctum pulled first, that's the best opportunity for his Pepsi OK, I think. And if they can win a map right here and, you know, have some momentum going into the next round, they might have a shot at taking Village as well and just reverse sweeping this here completely. They do have King ready to go with the Graviton Surge, definitely looking at, you know, what kind of effect they're going to have with that, as they're going to be looking to try to just get as many people as they can into it, trying to take the shield down low. Energy is on high, but King almost falls off, and after the Earth Shatter doesn't claim any kills, they're looking to try to turn things back around here with the Graviton.
But that tactical visor was absolutely shut down by the Earth Shatter, and that's all I think you could really hope for in that situation. Regardless here, they're doing quite well for themselves. I mean, Troll is going to be able to keep his team alive behind the barrier, but Feltup still looking for the boops off the map. 85% now. They're sitting on a Graviton Surge and a tactical visor in just a moment's time from Sinker. They should be able to take this round. It's going to take a miracle, I think, for Mythic Gaming to pull themselves back into this with absolutely nothing to work with. We'll see what they're able to make of it as they move in for the final time.
Oh, the tack visor. Sinker should easily be able to take Brent down, but not going to be able to find the Helix kill. There is the Graviton, as it already claims 2 kills with a self-destruct follow-up. Sinker will D-mech as well, and everybody is down and out for the overtime to tick down as Pepsi OK takes this. And now moving on to Village. Again, this is where I said I thought that Mythic Gaming would have an edge here. But given the fact that they, you know, now it's swinging back, now we're going to be seeing perhaps a little bit more Zarya. I really do like when we see the Zarya from them. I just think there was a big mistake there. I think, you know, having Brent come in on the Soldier and then not having that separate angle of attack. He tried to push Sinker when he had the edge. He had the advantage by having the ultimate up. Tack visor versus no tack visor. Unless you're Defrain, you're going to lose that 100% of the time. So, I mean, you know, that kind of situation, they don't have that other angle. It's hard to get into that fight, and that's why they lost that first one and why they were able to actually hold out, King holding out on the Graviton Surge. But going to Village now, a different look, a quad tank setup from Mythic Gaming and a dive involving King on the Pharah. This could look good for his Pepsi OK if they buy enough time for the Pharah to start dishing out some pressure and get a barrage up early.
Well, this is all or nothing here. Winner of this round moves into the finals here tonight. Point advantage over to Mythic Gaming right away. They are going to get kind of boxed in, actually, from both sides here. Is a little bit of a flank from Sinker already coming up on a pulse bomb. Built up dangerously close to falling right away here, but Hurix, they can't even get on the point. Great pushing off from the Lucio, as well as I believe the Diva able to confirm the first objective point. Pulse bomb from Sinker, not going to find anything. And Hurix, oh man, that's a rough start for his Pepsi OK. This could be, I don't know, Hurix. I mean, look, they're already ready to go with both support ultimates from Mythic Gaming. This is, you couldn't ask for a better start if you're that.
So they're going to swap things up. They are going to go to a tank composition themselves. Triple tank involving Sinker with the Junkrat. So they're still going to have that AoE threat, that pressure coming in from, you know, that Junkrat, which should, you know, not just displace, but also push out a ton of damage. They might find some kills, but Brent will find the hook, not the kill, as Sinker does manage to slip away with 14 HP, but there's Brent with the kill, following up with a right click.
Oh man, this is all Mythic Gaming on the board. Didn't even need to use the sound barrier or coalescence here. Still holding on to the Graviton Surge. and they're at 50+%. Maybe a late kill onto the D.Va as well. Just going to stagger this one out. He went the wrong way. Here, they could push it just down to one final fight. They've got enough ultimates, and there's really not a lot in the pipeline for Pepsi. Okay, I guess sitting at about 70 to 80% on a lot of these, but still looking to move in regardless. Earthshatter comes down, Troll. He lays King on the ground. They're going to move in off of this. Graviton Surge is here. Is the follow through there from the Junkrat. The sound barrier out. Now from both sides, Hurix. No kills on the board from all of those ults.
The healing coming out from the Coalescence does indeed keep Let You Can down, or keep him up rather. As Sinker pulls out the Riptire, can they stay alive in this? As they're looking to swing this fight, but it looks like Yo Mama, who is trying to find the kill onto Sinker, gets him down low, but not going to be able to solidify the kill. Graviton comes down. They're trying everything they can to try to make sure that they solidify this, but because of the fact that Sinker was low, he had to turn around and get that health pack, so he wasn't able to put the pressure out inside of that Graviton. Now, re-engaging once more. Is Pepsi okay? Can they get in there? It does not look like it's gonna be the case, and Troll swinging away with the hammer. He will solidify those last few kills. Overtime ticking, and Storm, it looks like we have ourselves a winner.
What a performance coming out from Mythic Gaming. Oh, wow. A bit of a hiccup there on King's Row, even in the second round on Nepal, but you can't be perfect when you come through up against some pretty tough opponents like is Pepsi OK. So they are going to make their move into the finals here tonight, Hurix. See a bit of a play of the game coming out from Jose. But they're going to be awaiting the victor, or excuse me, the winner between Humble Brag and Relapse Spirit. Hurix, I can't say I'm too familiar with either of those teams.
Yeah.
I didn't really actually look at the rosters, so I'm not sure if you happen to take a brief look at those.
If it's
earlier,
the same Mac as the Lucio Mac, if I'm not mistaken,
I know that guy.
then that person I know, he's playing for Relapse Spirit. I'm not sure if it's the same guy. It could very well be someone different, but outside of that, I don't think I know a single person on either of these rosters, unless they're like on some